Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to speak on a force that holds far too many of us back in life. It is a force that keeps us trapped in the confines of our own mind, a force that creates imaginary walls where only opportunity exists. I am talking about fear. Fear is one of the most fundamental emotions that humans experience, and yet it remains one of the most misunderstood and misinterpreted forces that govern our lives. It is a natural response deeply embedded in our evolutionary history. In its essence, fear is a survival mechanism designed to protect us from harm. It is an instinct that has kept our ancestors alive by prompting them to flee from danger or fight when necessary. However, in today's modern world, fear has evolved beyond its primal role. While fear still serves as a warning sign in situations of physical danger, it often manifests itself in non-threatening situations, like the fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty, where it no longer serves a useful purpose. To truly understand fear, it is essential to first recognize that it is not a tangible external force. Fear resides within us. It exists only in our minds, and it is shaped by the way we interpret and respond to the world around us. Fear is not a universal truth, but a product of perception. What one person fears, another may view as an opportunity. What triggers fear in one individual may not trigger it in another. This variability shows that fear is subjective and can be influenced by our past experiences, our upbringing, our beliefs, and even our cultural context. In many ways, fear is a mental construct. It often arises from a perceived threat, whether real or imagined, and creates a narrative in our minds about what could go wrong. This narrative, often filled with what-if scenarios, can distort our sense of reality and cause us to believe in worst-case scenarios. For example, the fear of speaking in public might stem from the belief that we will embarrass ourselves or be judged harshly, even though the reality might be far from this outcome. In this case, fear is rooted in the anticipation of something that may never actually happen. It is also important to recognize that fear has a powerful impact on our physiology. When we experience fear, our body undergoes a series of automatic responses. The heart rate increases, the muscles tense, and our senses become heightened. This is the body's fight or flight response at work, preparing us to deal with the perceived danger. In situations where fear is warranted, these physiological responses can be beneficial, as they help us act quickly to protect ourselves. However, in many modern contexts, these same physical reactions can become overwhelming and debilitating when fear is not based on a real threat. Fear can also create a cycle of avoidance. When we face a situation that triggers fear, we often instinctively choose to avoid it. While avoidance may provide temporary relief, it reinforces the fear and allows it to grow stronger. Every time we avoid something because of fear, we give the fear more power. The more we avoid, the more we become convinced that our fears are valid and that the world is full of dangers that we cannot handle. Over time, this cycle of avoidance can limit our lives and prevent us from achieving our goals. Another key element in understanding fear is the way it affects our decision-making. Fear often leads to indecision and procrastination. When faced with a difficult or challenging decision, fear can paralyze us, preventing us from taking action. We become so focused on the potential negative outcomes that we freeze and fail to move forward. This is one of the most insidious ways that fear operates. It doesn't always directly manifest as a loud, dramatic emotion, but as subtle self-doubt and hesitation that holds us back from acting in our own best interests. Interestingly, fear often thrives in the absence of knowledge or understanding. When we are uncertain about a situation, we tend to fill in the blanks with our imagination, and more often than not, our imagination takes us to the worst possible outcome.
This is why education, experience, and exposure to new situations are so important in overcoming fear. The more we learn and grow, the more we realize that many of the things we fear are either exaggerated or entirely unfounded. What once seemed like an insurmountable obstacle may, upon closer inspection, turn out to be a manageable challenge. Fear is also highly contagious. It spreads through social interactions, particularly in environments where people share similar anxieties or concerns. Groupthink can magnify individual fears, making them seem more pervasive than they are. When we surround ourselves with others who are constantly afraid, their fears can seep into our own minds, reinforcing our own anxieties and doubts. In summary, fear is a complex and multifaceted emotion that is deeply ingrained in our psychology. While it serves a protective role, it can easily spiral out of control when we allow it to dominate our thoughts and actions. Fear is not a tangible enemy but an internal experience, one that can be shaped and transformed by our perceptions, beliefs, and actions. Understanding fear for what it truly is, an emotion created by our minds, gives us the power to challenge and overcome it. By acknowledging its presence, questioning its validity, and taking deliberate action in the face of it, we can learn to transform fear from an obstacle into a tool for growth and progress. The mind is an extraordinary instrument, capable of creating both the greatest joys and the most profound fears. It is a tool that can either empower us or undermine us, depending on how we choose to use it. The mastery of the mind is the key to living a successful and fulfilling life, as it shapes our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. To truly conquer fear and achieve greatness, one must first learn to master the mind. The human mind is both vast and complex, with the power to shape our perception of the world and influence our actions. It operates on two levels, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind is responsible for our logical, deliberate thoughts and decisions. It is the part of the mind that we are most aware of and have direct control over. The subconscious mind, on the other hand, operates beneath the surface, influencing our habits, emotions, and automatic responses. While we may not always be aware of it, the subconscious mind has a profound impact on our behavior, often directing us in ways we do not fully understand. Understanding the relationship between the conscious and subconscious mind is critical to mastering the mind. The conscious mind is where our rational thoughts reside, but it is the subconscious mind that holds the power to shape our reality. Most of our fears, anxieties, and limiting beliefs are stored in the subconscious, where they influence our thoughts and actions without our conscious awareness. To master the mind, we must begin by taking control of both levels of the mind, the conscious and the subconscious. The first step in mastering the mind is becoming aware of our thoughts. The average person experiences thousands of thoughts each day, many of them fleeting and automatic. Yet these thoughts have a profound impact on how we feel and act. Negative thoughts, particularly those that feed into fear and doubt, can erode our confidence and paralyze us. The key to mastering the mind is learning to observe and recognize these thoughts without becoming attached to them. By becoming aware of the thoughts that arise in our minds, we gain the power to choose which thoughts we wish to focus on and which ones we wish to dismiss. One powerful technique for mastering the mind is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness involves observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing them to pass through your awareness like clouds drifting across the sky. By practicing mindfulness, you can create a space between yourself and your thoughts, enabling you to respond to situations with clarity and calmness rather than reacting impulsively out of fear or anxiety. Mindfulness helps you detach from the constant chatter of the mind, allowing you to become more aware of the present moment and less controlled by your fears. Another important aspect of mastering the mind is reprogramming the subconscious. Our subconscious minds are shaped by our past experiences, beliefs, and conditioning. Many of our fears and limitations are learned responses that have been ingrained over time. These subconscious beliefs can be changed, but it requires conscious effort. Affirmations, visualization, and positive self-talk are powerful tools for reprogramming the subconscious mind. By repeating positive affirmations and visualizing success, we can replace negative beliefs with empowering ones. Over time, these new beliefs become ingrained in the subconscious, leading to a shift in our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. To master the mind, it is also essential to develop emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions. Fear often arises from emotional responses to perceived threats, and if we do not learn to manage these emotions, they can control us. Emotional intelligence involves acknowledging our feelings without being overwhelmed by them. It is about recognizing fear as an emotion that is passing through us, rather than an inherent part of our identity. By developing emotional intelligence, we can respond to fear with greater clarity and resilience, rather than allowing it to dictate our actions. In addition to emotional intelligence, self-discipline is crucial in mastering the mind. The mind can be a powerful ally, but it can also be easily distracted and led astray. Without self-discipline, we may find ourselves constantly swayed by our emotions or external circumstances. Self-discipline is the ability to stay focused on our goals, even in the face of fear or discomfort. It involves making conscious choices and taking deliberate actions that align with our values and aspirations. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of mental mastery, as it enables us to direct our thoughts and actions toward our desired outcomes. Visualization is another powerful tool in mastering the mind. By vividly imagining ourselves achieving our goals, we can create a mental blueprint for success. Visualization taps into the power of the subconscious mind, helping us align our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our desired outcomes. When we visualize success, our mind begins to believe that it is possible, and this belief fuels our motivation and determination. The more we visualize our success, the more confident and capable we become in pursuing our goals. Finally, mastering the mind requires perseverance. The mind is like any other muscle. It requires consistent training and practice to become stronger. There will be times when fear or doubt creeps in, when the mind tries to sabotage our efforts. In these moments, perseverance is key. By continuing to practice mindfulness, self-discipline, and positive mental habits, we can gradually train our minds to stay focused, calm, and empowered in the face of challenges. In essence, mastering the mind is about taking control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It is about recognizing that you are not a victim of your fears, but a powerful creator of your reality. Through awareness, discipline, and consistent practice, you can train your mind to work for you rather than against you. The mind is an extraordinary tool, capable of achieving anything you set your sights on. When you master the mind, you unlock your full potential and gain the power to overcome any obstacle, including fear itself. A clear and definite purpose is the foundation upon which all success is built. It is the guiding light that leads you through life, providing direction and focus. Without a definite purpose, you are like a ship drifting aimlessly on the ocean, susceptible to the whims of external forces, unable to navigate your way toward your goals. In contrast, with a definite purpose, you possess a sense of clarity and determination that propels you forward, even in the face of obstacles and challenges. The concept of a definite purpose is simple but powerful. It is the act of identifying what you truly want in life and committing yourself fully to achieving it. A definite purpose gives your life meaning and significance. It is not simply a vague desire or wish, but a clear, specific goal that you are determined to achieve. It is the reason you wake up every morning with enthusiasm and drive, and it fuels your actions throughout the day. The importance of definiteness of purpose cannot be overstated. It is the key to personal success and fulfillment. People who lack a clear purpose often drift through life without direction, chasing after fleeting pleasures and distractions. They may have fleeting moments of success, but these moments are rarely sustained because they lack a deeper sense of meaning and commitment. On the other hand, those who have a definite purpose are driven by a powerful sense of why. They are focused, intentional, and unwavering in their pursuit of their goals. The first step in developing definiteness of purpose is identifying what you truly want. This requires deep self-reflection and an honest assessment of your desires, values, and passions. It is essential to differentiate between what you think you should want and what you truly desire from within. Society, family, and external influences often shape our goals, but true fulfillment comes from pursuing a purpose that resonates with your authentic self. Take the time to explore your interests, passions, and talents. Ask yourself what you would do if there were no limitations, no fear, no judgment, no expectations. Your definite purpose lies in the intersection of your skills and passions, something that excites you and aligns with your values.